He says, this was his quote, "There's a price you have to pay for fame, and people who don't want to pay that price can get in trouble. I accepted the idea of celebrity because of a French expression. You cannot have the butter and the money for the butter," as you said. So
Thank you.
it means essentially that what? You pick one or the other. You
If you're
either
in
have
the
the money.
public eye, like if you're in the public eye in any stretch, which includes you and me, the negatives, this is it. People will comment. They should comment. That is just the job description. If you're an accountant that sits in a cubicle, the job description is you have to be very busy between January 2nd and April 15th. That's the job description. So I don't know how so the point is, I'm sorry, Jennifer Tilly, but I'm very calm today. You have to get ready for it.
He
Could we
also
talk?
said,
Yeah.
sweatpants are a sign of defeat. You've lost control of your life, so you bought some sweatpants.
Well,
He was a historic fat shamer. Like he was
honey, I have lost all. I
sweatpants.
would like to wear a bathrobe and sweatpants nonstop. Should we talk about? Everyone knows, I've talked in New Jersey, the end of New Jersey, it is over. On Patreon, I explain why. Could we talk about this?
Wait.
Jax.
Okay, yes, but then I need you to talk to me about New Jersey because I'm going to be talking about this for a long time. This is huge, huge. I mean, this is a
You
foreshadowing.
haven't you haven't joined my Patreon? I would
I'm
give you a
sorry.
discount.
I know you would, and I love that, but no,
Thank
I have
you.
not subscribed.
Oh,
Uh, but let's talk Jax, and then we'll come back to Jersey because
if we
I
have
have
time, because I got other
1,000
stuff.
questions.
Fine. So let's talk about Jax. Now this lady, this little lady that he had the 3-hour date with. You
Paige
happen to know
Woolen.
her?
She's a trip. Yeah, she's on my podcast. And shout out to Us Weekly that picked up the interview and linked it over the weekend. And it was like 5 things you need to know about Paige Woolen. And they were discovered on the Sarah Fraser Show podcast. So shout out to them. She's lovely. She's dated a lot of high profile celebrity men, from Jeremy Renner, who she alleges, it's alleged, was complete sex addict pest. And she got his coffee order one day at Starbucks and then blocked him and never came back because he wanted to fuck like 18 times a day. Thank God Jeremy Renner's still alive after that horrific crash with a plow machine. Anyhow, then she also slid into Army Hammer's DMs. She's sort of known for these high profile relationships. I thought
Kind
she
of
was
like someone else we know.
who?
Someone else I know. I think you know them too. I'm not here to mention any names. I mean, the audience can figure it out.
Look, I think she's also a person that's amazing at getting attention. I love Britney. Paige was lovely on my show. I do like Britney and Jax together. I really, really like them. So I get people are Team Britney. I tend to be a little bit more like Team Britney, especially because they have a child together. But yeah, Paige is like a OnlyFans model now, Maxim model. She became famous for an IG called Dudes in the DMs, where she would publish all these DMs that these guys would write to her, which were disgusting,
I'm
unfortunately.
sure. I mean,
And
her chest is a certain size, her body is voluptuous. Now, didn't it come out that it is Jax or is it Sheena's talking about this, that he was golfing with her father and that's how he met this lovely lady?
yes. So apparently, Paige's father bid at some charity event to play a round of golf with Jax. He does
Because the
that.
father is just a fan of VPR.
Well, nobody's certain why he would have bid on that. That's kind of, I think, where on Sheena's podcast, I did not hear if anyone knows the actual reason why he purchased. Was it because Paige wants to get with him? I don't know. But apparently on this golfing outing, Paige's dad says, I have a daughter you should meet. And that's what prompted a 3-hour lunch out in the valley here in LA. And they had lunch together. Now, Jax has come forward and said, oh, we're not together. It's not what you see. It seems Brittany and I are exhausting all avenues to stay together. I still think they're together. I do.
You
Because
do. And Jax also
Paige wants
said, it's
attention.
not what you seem. It's not what you think. I wish I could share the whole story. I wish. We have a
What does
mouth.
that mean? Is he like counseling Paige? Like, is he helping her through some issue? I don't know.
No,
Is she with Tom Sandoval or Schwartzy? And like,
I don't fucking know. You still think Brittany and Jax are together? I think that's a valid point. I mean, look, I think they're less together than I thought, but it's just, I don't get it. So, I mean, he says they're not dating. You saw that video when they were at one of Jeremy Maddox's. Only in LA and New York do people have 800 birthday parties. So, not the one where Sheena was at, but a different birthday party of Mr. Maddox's where Jax was and she was, and they did the video. And then at the end, she screamed, "I'm pregnant." The fans are not happy with that statement. Well, Brittany's on the week of the Valley saying, "I'd like to have more kids." And I know Morgan Wade, but we are not from the same town. She wants more kids. And then the same thing, we have this girl saying, "I'm pregnant." People were not happy. What do you make of all this? Is this is he getting down with her? What's going on?
I
Diddling
would,
and daddling a little bit?
she'd be a good one to diddle daddle with. I mean, she's hot, so I could see that. And she gets the TV game, she gets the fame game, and yet there's something self-deprecating about Paige, which I really appreciate when she was on my show. But I like Brittany and Jax together. I think they are together because I just, again, they seem like they are doing this and then they work together every day at the bar. They still have the podcast. They're still like seamlessly co-parenting.
I
But
just I was just gonna say, like, I just can't watch Jax without thinking that I look, I am thrilled with the Valley. I am thrilled Jax is on the Valley. I just can't watch him and believe anything. It's just like you are a reality star who lost everything and was given a second chance. You are the Angelina Pavarnik from Jersey Shore of Bravo. And I just think Jax is, I told you, I have spoken to Jax one on one for a very long time. And he is smart. He is like a Spencer Pratt. He knows what he is doing. That is a compliment. I just can't watch him in any of these scenes, even when he's not involved, when he's sitting there and watching Janet and like Nia and Danny and watching a disaster happen right in front of his eyes. I think he's just like saying to himself, like, don't speak, Jax. This is not the Jack show. Like, he gets it. This is not the Jack show. This is an ensemble show. We're not getting season 2 because of Jax and Brittany and Kristen. We got season 1 because of us. We're getting Scandival. We're getting season 2 because of all these people. So when everyone else is fighting and Jax is just sitting there with a grin on his face like a pig in shit, I don't think it's because he's like, "Oh, thank God I'm not involved in the drama." He's like, "Thank God." He's sitting there being like, "This is fucking good TV." I think he's sitting there in the show as the audience saying to himself, "This is good TV. We're getting a season 2." And I think he knows what he's doing. So I kind of agree with you.